السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين، أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله، صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه والتابعين وتابعيهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد, today it is Friday the 23rd of Dhul-Qaada 1445, matching the 31st of May 2024. This is our session number 10, going through this booklet titled The Description of the Hajj of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam by the Sheikh Muhammad ibn Jamil Zeyno, rahimahullah ta'ala. So yesterday we started at the section where he talks about manafi'ul hajj fi dunya, the benefits of Hajj in this worldly life. And he mentioned that the Muslims who meet there, they're going to get to know each other. They come from different countries with different languages, so they will get to know one another. And he mentioned the hadith, الأرواح جنود مجندة فما تعارف منها ائتلف وما تناكر منها اختلف. Let me actually see if we can get this hadith. Is a nice hadith to know the meaning of it. الأدب المفرد هو في البخاري أيضا وفي مسلم. Let me الباحث الحديثي. Right. So I keep telling you about this app. Very handy. So جنود الأرواح جنود مجندة. جنود مجندة. مجندة. طيب. So you see all the narrations here. I have 58 results. Right? So we only need one result, yani inshallah. And they tell you, they put a small commentary and they give you the meaning. Right? They give you the meaning. So al-arwahu junudun mujannada. I translated it, I think, like enlisted soldiers. Junud mujannada. ما تعارف منها ائتلف. So the ones that get to know one another, they will turn to be agreeable with one another, friendly with one another. وما تناكر منها اختلف. And the souls that do not know, do not recognize each other, they tend to differ, right? So the meaning here, he said, I will not do this is all the meaning of the hadith. I'm not going to do all of it. But he says that أرواح الناس تختلف في الخير والشر. The souls of the people differ in good and bad, in good things and bad things. وأن كل جنس يميل إلى جنسه وطبعه. Every type of a person, he will find himself or she will find herself inclined to the same type of personality, the same type of a soul, and the same type of custom or habit. If you share things with each other, qualities, then you tend to get closer to one another. فالخير في الناس من الناس يحن إلى شكله والشرير يميل إلى نظيره. The good person, he will find himself يحن, nostalgic, so close to شكله, the one who's like him. Likewise, the evil person, he will be inclined to his peer, نظير, his peer, someone who's like him. Right? فتعارف الأرواح يقع بحسب الطباع التي جبلت عليها من خير وشر. So تعارف الأرواح, these souls, that get to know and recognize one another, that happens, this recognition يقع, it happens according to بحسب الطباع, according to the customs and the habits, the natures التي جبلت عليها, which they were created upon, من خير وشر, of good and bad. ولذا فهي جنود مجندة. This is why they are soldiers that gathered together. He said أي جموع مجتمعة. The souls, يعني like souls, they tend to gather together and crowd, right? And يعني whether they are like in goodness or they are like each other in evil, they tend to form some sort of a group, right? Some sort of a group. جنود مجندة, like the soldiers that come together, they are in one battalion or one army, right? يقود بعضها بعضا إلى الخير أو إلى ضده. They will lead one another, these souls, like souls that gather together, recognize one another and gather together, they will lead one another to goodness or to the opposite of that. فإذا توافقت صفاتها وتعارفت حصل بينها الألفة والمودة والمحبة. So if the qualities matched, right, and the souls match, right, then what will occur is ulfa, amicability. They will be friendly, mawadda wa mahabba. They will be friendly and loving one another. Pals, they become pals to one another. وإذا حصل بينها التنافر في الطباع, and if there is some repulsion, they're different in terms of طباع, customs and habits and natures, تناكرت. يعني if you are the quiet guy and he is talkative and inquisitive and he talks about everything, he asks you like some people in 1 minute he gathers everything, even did you buy are you renting or buying? Did you buy a home or you are renting? Right? Everything, right? So if you are not like that, you get somehow turned off, right? You don't like, so this difference in qualities and natures will bring tanakur. Tanakur is when you don't recognize and get closer. You actually are put off, right? And you are disassociated from one another, right? And you are further away, tabaud, and could be even tabaghud, animosity, like you don't like, you hate, right? So this is how the person, he said, وَلِذَلِكَ صَارَ الْإِنسَانِ يُعْرَفُ بِقَرِينِهِ. This is why the person, he will be recognized through his companion, قرين, the one he is usually with. ويعتبر حاله بأليفه وصاحبه. And his condition, his situation, will be looked at, will be considered, will be weighed according to his alif, the one who's really friendly with, the one who's really accompanying. Okay? So this is it's a reality, yani. It is a reality, right? So you want to judge a person if he's always with people who smoke and drink and more than likely he's like them. If he is with people who are oppressive and hateful and racist and more, how can he live in that environment? He must be like them. And if he is otherwise, then more than likely people who go to the masajid, people who attend the sessions of knowledge, people who get together to help people, they are charitable, they are, then that's how. if he is like with the merchants and the businessmen and the more than likely he's a businessman like them, and so on and so forth. Every personality like that. نعم. Yes, yeah. Even the English people, they say birds of feather flock together. يعني you're not gonna find a bird friendly with a monkey or something, right? It's- they're too different. So this is the case. So he said قيل أيضا في معنى الحديث, also said about the meaning of this hadith, the scholar said that it's informing us about the beginning of the creation, and that Allah created the souls before the bodies. خلق الأرواح قبل الأجسام. Right? So when they were put in the bodies, تعارفت بالأمر الأول. Somehow there is some sort of, they're being introduced to one another with that first يعني first matter. Right? When they were in the stage of souls, there was some, some connection, some recognition between them. Later on, these souls are put in the bodies, and then somehow you walk into a place, and then you find yourself sitting next to the one that you are so close to. You find yourself together somehow, يعني attracted to one another one way or the other, although you don't really know each other, but this is how it is. This recognition and closeness and this association and being further away from each other is based on that stage when you were in the stage of the arwah, the souls, and Allah knows best. They mention here, I don't know if this sabab is mentioned in another hadith. I didn't really check it, but they say سبب الحديث أن امرأة مزاحة بمكة نزلت على امرأة مثلها في المدينة فبلغ ذلك عائشة رضي الله عنها فذكرت هذا الحديث. They mentioned that the reason behind this hadith, how Aisha رضي الله عنها mentioned this hadith, so it's from the hadith of Aisha and hadith of Abu Huraira also, the hadith. So they say that a woman who is really very jokeful, مزاحة, jokes a lot. She in Mecca, she came to Medina and she stayed with a woman who were like her, who was really jokeful, right? So that reached Aisha radiallahu anha, so she mentioned this hadith, right? So also they say that, and this is the reason why I wanted to go through this explanation really. One of the benefits of the hadith, أن الإنسان إذا وجد من نفسه نفرة ممن له فضيلة أو صلاح أن يبحث عن سبب تلك النفرة ليسعى في إزالتها حتى يتخلص من الوصف المذموم. So he says here that the person, if he finds within himself that he is somehow repelled, somehow, he doesn't like someone, someone who has excellence, someone who has righteousness, right? If you find yourself put off, you don't like that person, although he's a man of goodness, a person of goodness, a man or a woman, right? Then you should look, يبحث, he should search as to why is it that I have this repulsion, nufra, why am I, I don't like this, but you look for the reason why. ليسعى في إزالتها, so that he will work on removing that problem, right? حتى يتخلص من الوصف المذموم, so that he will be getting rid of this praiseworthy quality, right? So Yes. So if يعني الأرواح جنود مجندة. If you get to know one another, inshallah, that repulsion will be removed. Right? Maybe you passed by one day and you said salam and he didn't return the salam, or some other reason, something happened that made you somehow, there is a barrier between you and him. So try to get to know him more to remove that barrier, right? Because with this connection, you will remove that barrier between you and him, and therefore you will get closer, right? So that's one of the benefits that the scholars mention about this hadith. الأرواح جنود مجندة ما تعارف فما تعارف منها ائتلف وما تناكر منها اختلف. Right? So the more you know about each other, the more you will be removing those barriers, those problems. Sometimes you see someone who's not, is not a very joyful person. Yeah? So you are kind of, but when you get closer to him and you know him really, maybe it's not like not necessarily, and he's bad. He's just, this is how it is. His people are, maybe you get to know his father, his brother, you find them all the same. Like it's a copy. Yeah. So then, like, he's not faking. He's not like intending to look like that. It's just, that's the way those people are, right? And the likes, other qualities that are like that. Well, maybe you talk to him a little bit, you find, he has been to so much trouble that if you went through the trouble that he went through, maybe you will not even go to the masjid. You will you will be someone who will be just locking himself somewhere, and you don't want to see anybody. And right, actually, you will start appreciating a person like him with all of these pains that he's going through. He's still, trying to make it. Yani, you will now, it will change. You will start looking up to that person, and you see how good he is. Yani. But subhanallah, yani, that's how it is. Anyhow, this is you see it a click. Yani, we found, all of this information, right? And Sheikh Muhammad Jamil Zino, rahimahullah, he just mentioned this hadith to us, where about Hajj, one of the benefits of Hajj, that the Muslims will get together, will get to know one another, and when they get to know one another, they will become friendly and loving towards each other. And alhamdulillah, and this is the case. Yani, you go, you meet people from all over the world, and after getting to know them, you start appreciating their customs and their habits, and it doesn't become as bothersome as you may think. Yeah. Just because you mingled with them, you stayed with them for some time, and alhamdulillah, yani, brings the hearts together. Another benefit of Hajj is الوحدة الإسلامية, Muslim unity. Says يقول الشيخ محمد الأمين. So he is quoting the Sheikh Muhammad al-Amin al-Shanqiti, the same book, أضواء البيان. He said, ومن تلك المنافع, and from those benefits, تيسر اجتماع المسلمين من أقطار الدنيا, that it will be facilitated for the Muslims to gather together from all countries around the world, في أوقات معينة, in specific times. Right? There are limited specific times. The time of Hajj. في أماكن معينة, in specific locations, specific places. ليشعروا بالوحدة الإسلامية, so that they would feel the Islamic unity. ولتمكن استفادة بعضهم من بعض, so that benefiting from one another will be possible. يتمكنوا يعني من ذلك. فيما يهم الجميع من أمور الدنيا والدين. They will benefit one another in the matters that are important to all of them of the affairs of the dunya and the affairs of the deen. وبدون فريضة الحج, and without this obligation of Hajj, لا يمكن أن يتسنى لهم ذلك. It is not possible that this will be facilitated for them. يتسنى meaning be possible, be available for them. تسنى يتسنى. فهو تشريع عظيم من حكيم خبير. So it is, this legislation of Hajj is a great legislation from someone who is subhanahu wa ta'ala all wise, all aware. وَالْعِلْمُ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ تَعَالَى, and the knowledge is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he's mentioning again أضواء البيان, this tafsir of the Shaykh الشنقيطي عليه رحمه الله, the lights of clarification في إيضاح القرآن بالقرآن, in clarifying the Quran through the Quran. And that app, الباحث القرآني, has that book. So you can go to the ayah and find the whole thing. And in that book, actually, he discussed the rulings of the Hajj. He got expanded on it in detail, to a point that there were books that were written, taking out the rulings of Hajj from that book, from the tafsir. Tafsir maybe comes in 9 or 10 volumes. So they extracted the rulings of Hajj, the positions that the Sheikh chose regarding Hajj. They put it out together. They extracted it from that book and they put it in one book. More than one person did that. One of them is the well-known Sheikh of the Haram, the Sheikh Saud al-Shrim. He has a book that he extracted the rulings of Hajj from the book Adwa al-Bayan, which became like a very nice review of all the rulings of Hajj according to the positions that the Sheikh Muhammad al-Amin al-Shanqiti chose in his book Adwa al-Bayan. طيب. So the next thing he talks about is التعاون بين المسلمين, but I know that we have about 10 minutes to Maghrib. I will leave that so that those of us who want to make dua now, they can make dua, inshallah. It's precious minutes that are left, inshallah. So we'll stop here, inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. جزاكم الله خيرا. So we'll continue tomorrow, inshallah ta'ala. Though we took some time about that hadith, but is really beneficial hadith, yani. Alhamdulillah.